took me 24 years to realize that humans are simple. It's our insecurities that are complicated. I was at work the other day for probably a maximum of 2 hours before I'd seen about 10 Stanley Cups. I'd spoken to a colleague about high rocks. At work, a bunch of people were talking about supplements. Someone else was talking about their experience on Ozempic. My mum was telling me about how she's going to start collagen supplements. And it reminded me about some stuff I'd read on red light therapy. And then I started to think, is this really about health? Or is this just about status in disguise? Sometimes I feel like we think we've cracked the system when we start like a new habit or a new healthy habit. Maybe you start running, or you start doing jujitsu. Sometimes this endless pursuit doesn't leave you feeling better, it leaves you feeling empty, which I've come to realize over time boils down to the core fundamentals of status, validation, and capitalism. When this is working against you, you're riddled with comparison. However, when status and validation works for you, i.e. you just understand the fundamentals of it, the system is no longer hacking you, you're hacking the system. You don't need to jump on the latest trend or go to a reformer Pilates class to feel validated. Status and validation can rule over your life in so many different shapes and forms, but it's about time you took back the crown instead. Hey, if you're new, welcome to the cozy corner of the internet. I'm your host, Christina, and I help people stop drinking and start living. I am back after a very short, probably insignificant break. Some of you guys are probably like, I didn't even notice you were gone. Some of you guys, I've seen your DMs. Thank you so much for checking in on me. I needed a little break just to kind of get my life together, have a breather with medicine, YouTube. I've not had a proper YouTube break in a long time. I want to say 2 years. Like, I have been consistent. I have been like posting every single week, sometimes twice a week for a very long time. So it was nice to have a little bit of a break. Sometimes I forget just how organized you have to be on such a consistent posting schedule. Like, I'm in such a routine. Like, a lot of you guys know I'm a doctor, I'm a YouTuber, I do both. And I'm only able to do both because I rely on productivity tools. Like, I swear by my Google Calendar, my apps, like these things that keep me going, keep me organized. That's why I'm very excited to tell you guys about this new app that I've discovered recently called Akiflow. Akiflow takes the best bits of all your favorite productivity apps and puts them all in one place. Akiflow helps you combine apps like Slack, Google Calendar, Outlook, Todoist, and so many more all in one place. So it essentially makes time management that's normally very hard extremely easy. The first thing I did when I signed up was combine my personal calendar on Google Calendar with my work calendar on Outlook, because when things are on two separate apps, it makes it super hard to kind of stay organized and stay on top of everything. The best way I can describe Akiflow is on the right hand side, you've kind of got your calendar, and then on the left, you've got your tasks. So just as you're adding things on a to-do list, you can kind of drag and drop them from the task section over to the calendar. Over time, as you do the task and spend time on them, Akiflow begins to learn how long you spend on these tasks. So a common toxic trait for me is I'll be like, oh, I'll spend 10 minutes doing that thing, and then it ends up taking me an hour. The thing about Akiflow is over time, it's going to learn exactly how long I take to do things. So that way it can help keep me more organized. This is perfect if you're a student, if you're a mum, if you're a corporate baddie, if you're just a busy professional, because Akiflow integrates the two cornerstones of like any busy person's life. That is your to-do list and your calendar. Like, those are the two things you swear by. And the fact that it has it right on the homepage, tasks on the left, calendar on the right, and helps you integrate them both seamlessly just makes life a whole lot easier. Another thing I love about Akiflow is the fact that everyone's will literally look completely different. Like, if you sign up and you use their color coding feature, yours will probably look completely different to mine, whether you're on light mode or dark mode. If you're ready to take the stress out of time management as a busy person, sign up to Akiflow in the link in the description box below. Once you've signed up to Akiflow, be sure to book a one-on-one onboarding call with a member of the team. I love the fact that you can literally talk to a real human who walks you through the app, explains everything, probably gives you tips and suggestions on how to use the app. That is so helpful. So once you've signed up, be sure to book a one-on-one onboarding call and use my link in the description box below. Now back to the video. Validation. This is a topic that lives on the channel. This is a very common topic I talk about. She's a regular visitor to the channel. Validation, status, ego, insecurity. Those are all common topics. I don't want to say topics. Those are all common obstacles and challenges we overcome on this channel. Do you know what I mean? And what got me recently was a literal article comparing humans to dogs. Vox put out an article a while back saying, the more you crave affirmation for your looks, your personality, your likability, the more you seek it out, the more you become a dog waiting for the treat. Wow. If your self-esteem is reliant on whether or not you receive recognition, you risk being motivated only by self-serving goals, likes, comments, reposts. There's something like scheming about the health industry and the wellness industry because a lot of the time it seems so appealing and so attractive as a health conscious society where if you invest in supplements, you feel like you're doing good for yourself. Or if you invest in those green powders, I don't know what the latest one is. Spirulina is what's on my mind, but I feel like there's a new one now, like Bloom, I think. If you invest in these things, if you invest in a Goya shot, in red light therapy, in like CrossFit, High Rocks, take your pick. You feel like you're doing something good, and you genuinely are. A lot of these things, I want to say, are good for you. It depends which health expert you listen to, because I feel like Diary of a CEO has a new health expert every other week that says something different to the last one. But generally, we live in a very health conscious society with an oversaturation of information, which can be a blessing and a curse. Because if you find something you want to invest in for your health, you can find any health expert that probably backs it up as like a good thing. And I do feel like this heavily sits more in the younger generations, and there's stats to back this up, particularly millennials and Gen Zs, because we are the generation that's grown up with a phone in our hand. We have grown up, asking a question to Google first rather than our parents first. We're the ones that trust the internet with information and trust the internet with our life decisions. For example, a 2018 study found that millennials are more likely to prioritize health and wellness when it comes to making decisions around their food and healthy choices. For example, 4 out of 5 millennials consider the health benefits when selecting certain foods compared to 3 out of 5 baby boomers. However, when you compare this to Gen Z, the younger generation below millennials, out of all the generations surveyed, they were the most worried about their health. And this isn't a video about health and wellness, to be honest. This is a video more about status and validation. I was talking to one of you guys about this. You were, you might even be watching this, but I remember you were a high school graduate going to college, done very well in your exams, super accomplished, not just in academics, but also in sports. And you were telling me how, Christina, no matter what I do, and no matter what the improvements I make, I still don't feel good enough. Like, I think about the future and I think about all the hard work that I will put in and all the career moves I'll make. Even thinking about the future, it doesn't feel good enough. And that's when we started talking about this concept where I explained sometimes as a high achiever, you do sometimes have to choose within yourself. Do I want to be happy or do I want to be optimized? I feel like it's so rare for people to be like blissfully average and happy about it. Like now, I feel like nowadays we all have this idea that, oh no, but I'll be happy once I'm excellent, like once I'm the best, once I'm so impressive. I walk into the room and people are like jaws on the floor. Like, do you know what I mean? As someone who used to be a grindaholic and someone who's now taken a 2-week break from YouTube, which I never thought I'd do in a million years, I can genuinely say to you, I can see how being a grindaholic, goal-obsessed person can actually hold you back. Sometimes we don't even notice just how many of the decisions we make aren't even our own. They're kind of joint decisions between us and all the people we want to impress. And the main reason being is because of 2 things: validation and status. The way I like to describe it is validation is what we do or what we chase to simply feel enough. We just want to feel good enough. We want to feel welcome, part of the group, included, one of them. Whereas status is one step above that. That's what we chase when we want to feel seen, feel important, feel impressive, feel powerful. Validation is the foundation, and status is kind of the amplifier. Validation is going to a high school party, wearing like your nicest outfit and hoping that it's cool enough and no one makes fun of you and you can kind of blend in and make friends at the party. Whereas status is going to that same high school party, wearing your best outfit, but now hoping you impress people, hoping people see you as cool, as attractive, as hot, as popular. And the thing about validation and status, which I've said kind of before in the video, is it applies to so many different areas. The reason why we chase validation and chase status is to feel worthy. It's a shame that we try to feel worthy by feeling better than others or even just as good enough as others. Because I know, say you're in the validation camp, you just want to seek validation. You want to feel good enough. You want to go to the high school party and just feel welcome, feel included, feel part of the gang. You're not in the status camp just yet where you're trying to feel superior. You're not trying to feel popular. You're not trying to feel impressive. It's a shame that just existing as you are normally in your normal natural form doesn't give you that feeling of like, oh, I'm enough yet. It really doesn't matter what life chapter you're in. I promise you, please don't postpone the feeling of good enough to a certain milestone, a certain weight, a certain appearance, a certain romantic status, because you'll get there and you'll still have that same feeling. Like, you'll still feel a bit empty. You still feel like there's more validation to chase. Or maybe you'll move into the status camp. Okay, now you've got a boyfriend, now you've got a girlfriend, but you want to feel superior now. Now you're at college, now you're studying your dream degree, but now you want to feel superior now. Like, this chase never ends. And the fuel for this chase, I keep using analogies like fuel and car, but bear with me. The fuel for this chase and this engine, like running this car, is honestly feeling separate from other people. For example, in this new workbook that I've made for you guys, I've kind of got this validation inventory, a space where you can kind of have a private space to analyze and understand for yourself. When it comes to work and school accomplishments, how much am I performing for others? For example, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, I don't really care what anyone thinks about me. This is purely for me, my work and school accomplishments. Or 10, I am grinding super hard to get this A so that I look impressive to my teacher, so that my classmates think that I'm super smart, so that I get into that college, so I look good. How would you rate yourself? When I think back to me back in the day, I'd probably, this is juicy. I think I was a super hardworking student because I knew I wanted to be a doctor. Like, I knew from a really young age. And I knew I wanted to be a doctor from a young age because I felt like I didn't have many friends. I didn't have much going for myself in school. This was like my shining star to help keep me going and keep me motivated in school. It was very much for me, but a part of me did feel quite powerless and quite like alone. So it was almost like, I'm a nobody now, but I'm going to become a somebody. It was a little bit of me seeking status. So I'm going to go like a 6 on that one. When it comes to physical appearance, where in your life do you feel like you're performing for others? I don't feel like I'm performing much with my physical appearance, genuinely, because I go to work looking like a rat. Like, it's the reason why I don't even have much B-roll of me at work, because like each clip I film, I'm like, Jesus, Christina, like, delete that video. Like, I do not perform really at work, and I spend most of my time at work. I'm gonna go like a 4 on that one. Instagram and social media posts. This is a tough one as a content creator, because I post because I want it to be helpful, and I hope it's helpful. But then I also don't post on Instagram like at all. Like, I barely post. I'm not posted in months because I have nothing to post on Instagram. Romantic desirability. Is it bad if I put 4 for this one as well? Anywhere where you're scoring sort of higher up, closer to 10, will probably be maybe your core validation, I want to say wound, your core validation goal. Like, that is the place where you feel most insecure, so you're chasing validation the most. Essentially, we have a whole new workbook for you guys. This is the Validation Detox, a 5-step guide to break up from validation and status seeking and finally start feeling enough. If you're someone that compares yourself, doubts yourself, feels like you're not good enough, and feels like you're always chasing, this is for you. I've got 5-6 different chapters on the validation chokehold, why you keep chasing. The goal and aim by the end of this workbook is you're going to have a crystal clear idea on what exactly is your validation leech. Like, what is the thing sucking your energy, sucking your time and effort, making you feel drained and burnt out, making you feel not good enough, so that once you've identified your emotional wound, you can start to put the pieces back together to stop seeking validation for good. There's exercises to help you understand how to self-validate rather than externally validate, and how to catch yourself when you're falling back. I even included a little ChatGPT prompt for those of you who love to use ChatGPT as your therapist. This is a prompt that I'd probably use if I was using ChatGPT for this workbook. And there's so much more. Like all my workbooks, they are completely for free. I love making these for you guys. Literally made this one in between my lunch breaks at work, at home, in the evenings. I love putting it together. You'll be able to download it for free in the link in the description box below, and let me know what you think. Like, I know it sounds a bit strange, but each time you compare yourself, say you compare yourself to someone who is posting all their successes on Instagram and LinkedIn. We all know LinkedIn is the worst. Posting, I am so excited to announce that I have just landed a job at Like, say you compare yourself to this person, you feel crap each time they pop up on your feed. I promise you, you'll feel instantly better the moment you tell yourself and remind yourself in your mind, like, me and this person are not that different. If anything, I feel like everyone in the world would have such like an ego boost and such like a relief, such a weight lifted off their shoulders if they genuinely got to have like a heartfelt sit down, honest conversation with the person that they admire. Like, if you sat down and spoke to the person that you really look up to and you saw like the humanness of them, the insecurities of them, the worries of them, like all these things, like you would be so surprised, so reassured that they are super normal. That's why a lot of the time when you think about it, validation is about connection. Even on a simple level of like what to post on your Instagram. Like say you're one of those people that like you only ever like stuff on Instagram but you never post, or you feel like, oh, I have nothing to share, I have nothing to post about. Sometimes you get in your head and you start like overthinking about it and making a bigger deal about it than it actually is, because you're simply trying to be like everyone else. You're trying to have that level of connection. You're trying to not be an outsider of the pack. You just want to be part of the gang, part of the tribe. Chances are, and I'm sure as you work through the workbook, you'll come to understand this as well, but the areas in which you seek validation are probably the areas where you've been excluded in the past. If you're an OG on the channel, you'll know that I made a bunch of videos on like friendship and loneliness and social skills, because for me, that was my area where I was unseen. I was that person that never really got invited to parties, that when I did, it was like such a big deal. It was such like an overthinking, spiraling situation for me that I would like worry so much about. And it all boiled down to connection. The reason why I later on in life became like so unfazed about social gatherings and so unfazed, honestly, about public speaking now. Like your girl has done a couple of public speaking things and I'm kind of like unbothered by it. Like I'm just kind of like, okay, so what? 30 people are staring at me and I'm at the front with the PowerPoint slides. Like I don't really care anymore. Part of me, it's literally because of me understanding validation is about connection. The moment I started to speak to some people that I previously like admired, looked up to, thought, oh my God, you're so cool, like you did that, like I spoke to them, got to know them, and then I realized, oh my gosh, you're so human. Like you cry as well, like you have terrible days as well, like you accidentally fart as well, like you're not that special, like in the nicest way. Do you know what I mean? And it's one of the things that I love about making these videos for you guys. Like I know in a lot of my videos, I talk about my life experience. It's super personal, super open, super honest. I know it reassures you guys that I'm not this person on a high horse sharing my life advice. Like I'm not sharing anything revolutionary. I'm just sharing genuinely what's helped me. Like all of these videos, all 400 plus videos on my channel are like, honestly, previous journal entries that have made it into my Notion and made it onto camera and made it onto YouTube and made it into your Wi-Fi address. Like these are just things I've genuinely experienced. So the fact that I can hopefully share it with you, hopefully help you understand and like connect the dots to see that no one is above you in any way. Honestly, your insecurities would dissolve the moment you spoke to the person that you idolize or spoke to the person that you are mesmerized by. They are so much more human, and they are just as human as you are, I promise. Cherry gang, are you still here? Are you still with me? We have been talking for an hour. I'm sure we always do it. The video is probably 24 minutes long. I don't know how my editor does it. He always does. If you enjoyed this video where I'm talking about validation, status, wishing you were better off, wishing you were further ahead than where you currently are, I promise you're not alone. I speak about that and deep dive into it in my How the Goldilocks Theory Changed My Life video, where I'm talking about the Goldilocks Theory and how being, not too small, not too big, not too hot, not too cold is actually the sweet spot, and how even though we wish we were bigger and better and further up the scale, genuinely we are exactly where we need to be. Thank you for being patient with me as I took a little bit of a break from YouTube. I appreciate you guys and love you guys so much. Comment down below what future videos you'd love to see and I'll have a look through. I need some new video ideas after my little break. I'll definitely be having a look in the comments, and see you in the next one. Bye.